We're gonna continue where we left it 2 days ago. I think it was last time we were streaming a bit. Basically, we are gonna have to restart the chapter once again because I made a terrible mistake the other day. I just let Leith just next to the Black Knight. So that was absolutely terrible. And now I'm gonna just try it again. See if we get a bit more lucky today. Not lucky, like we did perfectly the other day until I messed up. But yes, the emulator is opening up. And once that's ready, we can continue. What I'm gonna do today is I'm probably gonna turn off the attack animations because I don't really want to take too much time in this chapter because I already have the feeling that I cleared it, even though I didn't fully clear it. But you know, it was just really close, and just having to see the whole chapter again with full animations and stuff just feels a bit like annoying. So I'm just gonna try to go through it as fast as possible, hopefully without making any errors, hopefully without having to restart once again, because I really do not want to restart this chapter again. I have already tried to do it like 2 times. The first time it was just a few mistakes, and the last one was just a full-on finished chapter that I messed up. So let's try to avoid that this time around. Let me just see. Okay, we're starting. Just lower the volume for me. And let's go. We already leveled up Void a bit in the base, so we don't really have to do that. What I might do actually is put Kieran back in the team, because I removed him by mistake the other day, and probably want to have Kieran actually. Because Kieran turned out to be quite useful. Well, not quite useful, since we are basically abandoning us. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's some visual bugs for you all. Since we're basically abandoning Oscar, because he's just turning out terrible, we're gonna have to substitute him with Kieran, who will probably turn into an Axe Lance Paladin when that comes around. But yeah, that Oscar is basically non-salvageable, so we're just gonna have to restart that. No, start that, just go with Kieran. But yeah, let's see. We just end here, just leave the base and go straight to fighting, choose the units. Who are gonna put in? We're gonna take out Rolf too, because I tried to make Rolf work, but since he's really hard to train, and I know there will be much better archer options in not that long, I'm just gonna try to do it without Rolf, and just go with Kieran. We could put Mordecai in, but it's probably fine without Mordecai, and he's just gonna suck out more experience out of the people that actually need it. So we can just go with this. Save that. Alright. I don't know if it's having connection problems. I hope that's not the case, actually. It seems okay, I think. Yep. Okay, let's just go. Oops. A bunch of people today, I see. We're gonna skip through the dialogue. Am I gonna deactivate the animations? At the very least, I think I'm gonna deactivate the enemy animations. Like the animations during the enemy turn. Oh, there is no way to do that, actually. Yeah, we can just turn it off. Game speed fast. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. We're gonna do that then. We're gonna try to give some experience to Kieran if possible. We already know that the guys up there... Well, the animations are quite decent. I would assume it to be much... Yeah. Much more static, but actually, yeah, that's good enough. Let's use Kieran here, try to give him some experience. Good kill. Move Kieran again over here. Again, the chapter, it is hard, like not hard, but it is harder than the others we have had to play before this one. But that really wasn't the problem last time. It was just a complete mess up that shouldn't have even happened, to be fair. But yeah, we're gonna try not to make any of those today. Thank you, Nephany. Let's see if Volk can reduce this guy's health. Yep. So far all misses. I was just waiting for someone to... Okay, never mind. Marcia is not getting any experience then. Since Bulk took out his kill, like her kill, I meant. Let's see. First of all, Titania were here blocking the house. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Titania kill this guy over Leith. Honestly. Pretty good. Let's see. Oops, clicked outside of the window. And let's see if Leith can get over here. The main thing we want to do first of all is try to get this thief to come near us, so we do not have to follow him to the top where the boss is and where we lost last time. Because the boss here moving is basically the most problematic part of the chapter. Let's see. Void over here. Yeah, Void can probably take a few hits in here. And let's try to just put Marcia in the border, just in case this guy wants to attack her, since a bit of experience will always be nice for her. And after that, just move Ike here, move Soren. Put Riz in the middle just in case, and we'll put Soren up there. Okay. That's Seahark again. Again, the important thing we do is we gotta make sure that we do not visit the house until we have killed the thief. That's the first lesson we learned the other day. Basically, just to avoid him just going all the way up, because if you visit the house, he stops trying to get into the house and he goes to the next one, which is all the way over there. And at that point, we basically cannot follow him, because the boss will come to us and we'll lose the house over there. But yeah. And again, I also kind of want to deactivate the animations, because I feel like if I have, I have already played this chapter a few times, so it just doesn't make for such an interesting content, because I already don't really know much, like, what to say, really. I mean, I normally don't get out of words to say, honestly. But yeah, I would just rather have it be a new chapter rather than having to replay this chapter more than once. That's why I don't really want to restart, if possible. But since I also don't want to lose, especially Leith. Like, we lost Boyd a few times, and Boyd is a bad unit to lose, but I think I could have maybe thought about leaving him die there. But Leith is a unit that's gonna be super useful throughout the whole game, and I don't really feel confident just letting her die, honestly. Yep, we put Titania over there. And let's just see if we can clear the bottom part. Marcia can probably take on the other swords guy. There we go. And Brom can finish the soldier, which we know that he can double with an iron lance. Come over here, Marcia. And with an iron lance we should be able to double. Perfect. Now, let's see. Let's put Ike over here. We also want to clear as many knights as possible before the boss comes around, because when that happens, we are gonna have to take care of the boss as soon as possible, and we do not want other knights around him, which has to make everything harder. We do not want that. Also, not only is it a worse experience for me streaming when I have to repeat the chapter, it's also much worse for YouTube or whatever whenever we record it. And when I upload it, probably having the same chapter 3 times uploaded to YouTube is not the best thing. So yeah. Let's just try to play carefully to avoid having to restart. That doesn't kill him at all, right? Yep, okay. We're good. That was a risk that I shouldn't have taken anyways, but like, it's not gonna be a problem. And it's some experience that Soren can get, and Reese will get some experience out of it too, so that's good. Okay, oh, I cannot reach Soren with Riz, so we'll have to move him over here. Riz, have you heal this guy, please? Let's kill the healer, because if the healer goes up to heal the other guys, we are gonna have a hard time clearing everyone. So just before we have to do that, let's kill him. Let's see, can Marcia together with Kieran kill the archer? Because they can reach both, right? Yeah, Marcia can reach and Kieran surely can reach too. Can Marcia just kill him? Because I prefer the XP going to Marcia than to Kieran. We can do it this way then. We gotta remember, if I don't remember incorrectly, it's all the way to that square where the boss can reach. All the way to this square, okay. Sure thing. Just make sure we do not enter that. Another thing that I probably should take into account is that I really shouldn't be dividing the team. So if possible, we are gonna just move everyone from the bottom to the top part to avoid having that problem again. We're gonna send the Iron Axe. Actually, maybe the Elwyn to the convoy. Soren will be fine without the Elwyn just yet. But yeah. Let's use Boyd to... No, actually, let's use Bulk to open the house, since he has more movement than the others. That's a Draco Shield. Very good. Let's move Boyd up there. And now that everyone is like together in one group, it should be much easier than the previous attempts, actually. Because in all the other attempts, we had everyone divided, like in two groups, one going from the bottom and one going from the top. And by the time the boss came around, it went to one of the groups, and then we had like a bit of a problem clearing everyone. But yeah. So thinking maybe I should lower the windows. Give me a second, because all the light in my face is probably not great for the video. Oh, there we go, that's much better. Yeah, and what if I do that? Yeah, that works. Much better than before, probably. Remember, we cannot go over here, but we can go over here, so let's just make sure we kill this guy. Marcia can deal significant damage. Not the case, actually. Only 8. Okay, sure. Kieran. No, this is not Kieran, this is Titania. Kieran. Let's try this now. You cannot double either. Okay, let's try to do it with Titania then. How high on experience is... Okay, I guess fine, probably. Let's try to use the Regal Sword. That's gonna be enough for Marcia to get in. Okay, good miss. Good job, Ike. And let Marcia kill. Yep. And now what we want to make sure to avoid is we do not want to enter that specific square. Even if the knight can attack us back, we are more than fine. We just want to make sure that we do not proc the boss before we are ready, basically. Also having both Soren and Ileana will be useful. Soren shouldn't have much of a wind tome, right? But he has thunder, so that should be fine. She has Earth Thunder, so that's gonna be extra fine. Put Boyd over here, move Mia forward. And do that, and for now we should be fine. Let's see how it goes now. This knight should attack... Okay, Kieran is good. Sure, even if you double we are more than fine, right? Okay, we failed, but it's fine. Okay, the second horse came around, that's 2, that's 3 horses, okay. This is good. Okay, this is Jill arriving, all good. We are more than fine against Jill. Okay, we can actually use both Soren and Ileana to reduce this guy's health. If possible, the square Kieran is using... Ooh! Okay, Soren triggered his kill, that's good. We cannot kill with the Steel Lance. Okay, we can use Yaro, right? With Mia we probably can kill him, right? Oh, wait, that's not the case either. Okay, let's just try to do that then. Just reduce the health a bit more, and both Titania and Ike... Actually, that's pretty good. And that's a weapon level up. How high is she on swords now? C, okay. Pretty good. Best part about Breath of Radiance is that the game has zero waifu bait and still manages to have two of the best waifus in Mia and Nefany. I completely agree. Like in the posterior Fire Emblem games, they actually have like characters that are obviously just focused on being attractive and shit. But in this game, everyone just feels like a character, an actual person, an actual someone with motives, and still what they manage to do with that is making people more attractive. Camila, yeah, Camila is not the only example, but it's one of the most obvious examples. That's a speed and a strength growth. That's amazing for Masha too. Um, but yeah, it's really sad because in these Fire Emblems, in the previous Fire Emblems, they actually tried to make characters appealing in general, not appealing to be attractive, just appealing that are interesting and shit. And they just managed to make better characters. Who would have thunk? Three Houses paddles back in a lot of emo, but Fates, oof. Yeah, I agree. Fates is probably one of my least favorite Fire Emblem, just because of that. I just stopped caring about every single character, and I agree on Three Houses actually having characters that actually make me matter about them. Like I actually care about a lot of the characters in Three Houses, and I wouldn't say either of like I don't think there's one character in Three Houses which is clearly just bait, right? I am pretty sure. But in Fates, it's just way, way, way too obvious. It's just way too cringy too, because I don't know. It's just I don't like the way that they made that there. Like in Awakening, for example, it was quite similar in that degree. Like there were characters that were like obviously catered to just be waifu bait or husbando bait or whatever, but like I preferred them to Fates definitely. And then the Settle Guard, pretty bad. But yeah, I mean yes, but honestly, I don't think Edelgard is made to cater to anyone. She's just a character with ideals and shit, weird ideas. To be fair, um, people for some reason try to just like justify her ideals much more than it should be reasonable. But still, the character is nice, and that makes people like her. Yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, same thing happens here. Like I don't think there's one character that just is clearly made to make people want the character or whatever. And still people find them attractive because they are more interesting when you try to actually make characters, not waifus or whatever. But yeah, Fates is probably the most egregious example. It was just the lowest low, honestly. It was, yeah. Yeah, like, I honestly do not like Fates among other reasons because of that. And it's actually I wouldn't know if I would say the same thing for Fire Emblem Engage. Just characters aren't really made to be attractive, but they are just badly made. But I don't know until which point it's actually made. Well, I guess too. I just Fates was probably the worst example, and it is just sad. Good thing we actually came back from that, and Three Houses became a much better chapter after that, a much better game after that. Played Engage till chapter 3, then dropped it. Yeah, you may see that currently we are streaming Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and not Engage. That is because I started Engage and I just said, this is just, it's not a bad game. Gameplay wise, it's actually really, really, really fun. But when it comes to the story, it's so bland. And I just left it and said, okay, I want to play a Fire Emblem which I know is gonna give me a good story. And we are here now. Played every Fire Emblem since 7 and that just dropped the ball so hard. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I completely agree. I actually someone came by the stream not too long ago and told me to continue it and just try it. Maybe I will get interested in characters or whatever later on. I actually continued after that, and I honestly still don't find any character appealing. But the gameplay is actually among the best Fire Emblems I feel at the very least, with the whole engage rings. But the story is just terrible, and the characters are just absolutely pathetic. There's basically no reason why I would care for any of the characters in Fire Emblem Engage. It's so sad because after Three Houses, where they clearly knew what they were doing and clearly made characters that people enjoy, and even after this game released, people are really interested in Three Houses and keep posting more about Three Houses than this game. It just proves that they completely destroyed. Like they just didn't make a great game with Engage. Yeah, the game has zero interesting characters from the get-go. Yeah, Three Houses immediately went in and gave people interesting characters. Yes, and the cool thing is that like, since, I would say since Awakening, but really much before that probably, but Awakening was clearly the game where they cemented characters just being one singular trait. Like, I don't know, this is Owain, he's very loud spoken and he names his weapons, that's the character. And in Three Houses, I really liked how they went like, okay, this is, I don't know, this is Lysithea. She's a girl, she's small, and she likes sweets. And that could be the character if that was Awakening, for example. But then in Three Houses, they actually developed every single character past that. Three Houses does that a lot too, though. Yes, but I do feel like they actually expand upon it. Or at least they seem to actually try to go farther than that. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen at all. It still happens to a degree. But at least they try to go further than that, and they try to make characters that are actually interesting, I feel, at the very least. No, it's Lysithea, she's a kid, but she doesn't want to be treated like one, but she is one. Right, that is the base. And like, the thing is, maybe it isn't the character in itself that they try to change, maybe it's more the story, because Lysithea then has a really, really, really interesting backstory. The character still remains kind of simple in a way, but I feel like it's a much better way of actually handling it. Like, she's simple and she has a few traits and they go with that. But at least they try to make an interesting story surrounding it. And that's the case for a lot of it. Marianne is a great example, or at least I really found it really, really interesting how Marianne is just, okay, this character is essentially just depressed. And it's like, okay, sure, I can understand that. And the same thing with Bernadetta, for example. But they actually don't make it like, I don't know, Noir from Fire Emblem Awakening was just, okay, she's sad and she's like, I don't know, she's weird, I guess. But that was it. With Marianne, for example, they really tried to make it interesting for you to know why exactly she is that way. And they actually try to make her grow, and I feel like they did Marianne's stereotype super well with backstory. Yeah, exactly. I didn't read you just yet, but yeah, yeah, the backstory actually makes me like. I'm saying all of this because I saw a fan art from someone on Twitter the other day, where they actually make Marianne really, really interesting regarding her backstory and actually try to build upon it and just show her as someone that's like battling with a really bad I don't know, circumstances which she really didn't decide, and it's like, okay, this is much more interesting than, I don't know, this is Tharya. Tharya likes you. Tharya is sexy. That was Tharya's character for basically the whole game, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I really do feel like Fire Emblem Three Houses is among the best like Fire Emblem has done regarding to making characters in a while. Noir was funny though because look, she's really timid and doesn't want to kill people, and like the mother really forces her to be like this, and then she goes on kills people and cold blood with no remorse, having the most horrifying faces. Yeah, I mean, most characters from Awakening and Fates are basically just caricatures and just like cartoon versions of a trope, and that's it. And okay, that can be fine. I mean, I can get behind that to a degree in some situations. It's not something that's always gonna work, but it is something that, okay, you can do, to be fair. And that's what it stays for most of the time, and in some characters it just feels like they are just losing opportunities, I guess. But I don't know, it was entertaining to say the least. At the very least, I guess. But yeah, okay. I'm really trying not to mess this up and actually lose on a 90%, but it's making it really hard for me because every single person is barely just hitting, and this guy is a 90% at the very least. I could use Brom, which reduces our chances to lose out of nowhere at the very least. Let's try with that. Okay, it was probably gonna miss, but at least we have an extra option before we have to use Soren and risk it on a 90%, which I hope doesn't happen, please. Like, yeah, we cannot hit with the hand axe. We could use bulk, to be fair, but if we use bulk, we are not gonna be able to defend against these two, and they might kill bulk, and I don't really want that, so let's just try to kill with Soren. Please, Soren. 90%. 90% is really good. Okay, we can. Okay, if we actually lose this on a 90%, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. Because this isn't actually a mistake. This is just the only option we have at this point. Please work. It's all I'm asking, honestly. Okay, that's good. Okay, we are probably. I'm not gonna count it out just yet, but we are probably not gonna have to restart this chapter. Thank God. And that's a level up for Soren. Soren is gonna greatly appreciate that. One thing to give credit for though, the game pretty much had to follow what Awakening did as it saved the series. It failed on that, so Three Houses could come in with a fresh approach. Right, I actually see how that works, I guess. I mean, yeah, it failed so that Three Houses could actually do something new. Because if the formula went exactly as well as it did with Awakening, Three Houses would have never existed as we know it today, and it probably would have continued with like more waifu bait and more simple characters and more, I don't know, classic story with no interesting ideas. Which I'm not saying Awakening completely was, but it is the direction which it would have eventually been headed if Fates had been super successful, I guess. So I guess we do have to thank it for that. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Compared to Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Valhalla to Assassin's Creed Origins, now the series is going with a fresh approach after being saved by Origins. Right, that is true. That is true, that is true. Like, I completely see what you mean in the sense that if the formula had been too successful, the games would have probably turned way too formulaic. The good thing is, before Three Houses, they already made Echoes, which I would argue, honestly, try to actually... Did Echoes happen after Fates? I don't actually remember what the timeline was. And then there's the Pokemon games. Yeah, the Pokemon games. You know what's the thing with the Pokemon games? I actually really... I actually do think that the Scarlet and Violet are probably the best Pokemon games to have released ever. But I absolutely completely despise how the game is absolutely completely like unfinished. The game is not a game that should have ever released. It's no like it is almost embarrassing that they even considered that an option and that it sold so well. But the game in its basis is amazing. Honestly, I haven't had that much fun in Pokemon until I played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Nah, they are the best modern games by far, but the competition is XY, Sun and Moon, and Sword and Shield. The funny thing is that the only Pokemon games I have played from that list is X and Y. I played X and Y and then Ruby Omega, and I left it there. And I wanted nothing to do with Pokemon because at that point it was just like, okay, I have already given way too much money to the Pokemon Company. I think I'm fine after Ruby Omega, which was probably the best Pokemon game I had played up till that point. It was Soul Silver, after that Ruby Omega, or Omega Ruby, and yeah, after that it was basically just the same. And I wanted to get back into Sword and Shield, but the whole Pokédex thing actually made me not want to play it, and thank God I didn't buy it because the game turned out to be terrible. But Scarlet and Violet actually turned out pretty alright. Yeah. But I would say the classic Pokemon, especially Gen 2 to 5, shoot it out of the water. Yeah, fair point. I mean, I can understand it. Yeah, probably like story-wise at the very least. But I do like the approach that they took in Scarlet and Violet when it came to, for example, Team Star. Like they didn't really, as far as yeah, I mean, they didn't really try to make the story with Team Star really like deep or whatever, or really mature or something. They just said, okay, Pokemon is for kids. We want to sell it for kids. Let's make a story about bullying, and let's make a good story about bullying. And they actually tried to manage something decent with that, I feel, at the very least. Gen 7 is cutscene hell, and Gen 8 is my big brother Leon is the champion, and he's so great. Yeah, actually, I have some context on Sun and Moon and how it was absolutely, completely, all the time, a lot of cutscenes. With Sword and Shield, I've just been told that it was continually just, you arrive to a point where the story would advance normally, and they tell you, don't worry, everything is fine, continue on. And you go that way until you finish the game, and suddenly some shit happens for like 30 minutes, and that's the game. Or at least that is what I've been told. Yeah, which Scarlet and Violet 2 times was before it released, and then on a legal copy, which is more than I have beaten Gen 7 or 8. Yeah, and I can completely understand it. Like, it is a really fun game. Like, it was painful seeing how it could have been the best Pokemon game to release probably ever if they just given it more work, if they just didn't release an incomplete game and they actually tried to complete it. But nothing beats Black and White 2 best games in the series. Thing is, I do know that's the general consensus. The general consensus is Black and White 2 are probably the best Pokemon games to ever released. Or at least that's what it feels like. I played it so long ago. Like I played Black and White 2 when I was like, I don't know, when did it release? Black and White 2. That's not what I want. Okay. Pokemon. This is 2012. Yeah, I was like really young when I played it, so maybe I just didn't fully grasp how the game actually tried to build its story or whatever. I just know people really love it, and I honestly should maybe give it a try and play it again sometime because I never found it that great. I mean, I liked it, of course, yeah, I did, but I don't know. I really should give it a try again. Also, I never liked that like the Unoban Pokédex, which is sad because I actually like it is varied and shit, but I just never liked the Pokemon designs in that generation. But I maybe should try it again, honestly, and try to give the story a bit of a try and see if it makes it better, honestly. 2011. I'm seeing like Black and White 2 over here. It says it's 2012. Maybe Black and White was 2011. Honestly makes sense because for some reason they decided that the best course of action is releasing a Pokemon game every single year and not even having the time to actually process the previous game when one is done and no work into them at all. This is, yeah, 2011 is Black and White and Black and White 2 is 2012 from what I'm finding, or at least in the West. But yeah, the fate of the Pokemon games is just so sad because they could be so much more. Honestly, there could be so much more because they really had the formula. And with Scarlet and Violet, they really brought up everything they should have brought and really showed that the games can be good and can be interesting and they can create a really compelling experience. They just decided not to complete the game. They just said, okay, we're not gonna be put more time to the developers. We're just gonna. Uh, who's not acted yet? Oh, Nefni. How long have you been here, Nefni? Oh no. She's been there for like 4 turns. Okay. Um, yeah, I just feel Scarlet and Violet could be much better. Emo Black and White 2 is just the upgrade to Black and 1. That is completely true. I do agree with that, and I completely felt that when I played them, which were solid games. It's the same way Ultra Sun and Moon upgraded Sun and Moon, but Sun and Moon were shit, so Ultra Sun and Moon had to work with a shitty base. Yeah, I can see that. But since Black and White 1 were solid games, Black and White 2 upgraded to a good base, that is completely true. And actually, the thing is, I don't completely remember how the games went, but I do remember them having at least an interesting lore to a degree, right? I mean, well, that's perfect. Thank you, Ike. That's gonna make everything easier. Yeah, but the whole, I don't know, the world they built with Black and White 1 and I guess then 2, they continued it there. Actually felt quite interesting, or at least I do remember being like a lot of mythos and shit like that, right? Which I think is something they should really try to do in the Pokemon games. Like they did it a lot in Diamond and Pearl too, but there it was just like bring a shit ton of legendaries and that will be our lore or whatever. But yeah, I really should try to get back and like actually try to play Black and White 2 again and see it with a new perspective and see if I actually can get things out of it, honestly. Because again, I only see people praising it, and I have played it, and I just don't really remember it. And I think that I should actually try to see how good it was. Because, yeah, everything just describes it as the best shit ever, and I honestly can't see why that is. I do remember it being pleasant, I just don't fully remember what happened, honestly. But yeah. But yeah, it's just such a shame that I played Scarlet and Violet sad, but like enjoying it, but just really sad because it could have been so much more. But oh well, we get what we get, I guess. We get what we deserve, I would say, because they make a shitty Pokemon game and people buy it and make it the most sold game up till that point. So the Pokemon company just makes another copy of that game. And yeah. Ooh, my internet is fucking up. I'm seeing actually. Do I have to restart something? Because I'm seeing the stream collapsing a bit. Or a bit laggy. It seems... No. There it is again. Actually, I don't know what that is. Yeah, my screen is freezing. Let me see. Do I have to restart the stream? I see. It seems okay now. Or it seems better at the very least. Let's hope that's the case. Let's just try to finish this chapter, and this time around I'm gonna try to avoid, because the last time what happened was that I went in completely convinced that there was a wall here, and that the Black Knight could not go over here, and I would leave like here, and Black Knight just kill her, and I just went really sad, because I was basically done. Now let's try to avoid that this time around. Okay, this guy comes here. That is good. Let's just make sure we see where the Black Knight gets. Okay. So we do not move farther than that. Reese, can you heal Titania? We can do that. Just let's do this. Doubt she will need a heal, but just to give some experience to our boy Reese. He will greatly appreciate it, probably. And let's give experience to Ike if possible, honestly. Yeah. Now we gotta make sure that we do not move anyone into the Black Knight's range. I learned my lesson this time. We hope. Please, don't do anything stupid. We are literally like 2 turns away from finishing. Let's hope that's the case. Okay. Okay, now we are really chill about it. We want to bring Leaf close to Seahawk so Seahawk can get it. Okay. We attack with Ike here. I do gotta see exactly what the attack limit for Seahawk is, because I don't want him to be attacking Leaf either. Okay, so we do that. We bring Titania over here. And what we are gonna do now is try to finish the chapter at the same time as we recruit Seahawk, basically. So Kieran can kill this guy. And I'm pretty sure the armored guy there doesn't move. So yeah. Okay, let me just see that. Okay, best thing about Pokemon is the fact that it brought so many fans, which then created a metric shit ton of games way better than everything Game Freak ever did. I completely agree, honestly. Like, they made a really compelling world and a really compelling community, and people are just doing what Pokemon should be doing, honestly. Also, I just feel like they always try to make it a Pokemon game, like the Game Freak. They just... Okay, they made Pokemon to be did I say a Pokemon game? A children's game? And sure, I can understand that. Your public want, like, it was meant to be young people, but like, there's a point where you should maybe consider just making an adult Pokemon game. Like an actual adult Pokemon game, an actual game with a, I don't know, an adult... To be fair, it is something hard to do. But like, your audience, in the end, it's people much older than the people you are making the game for, and that ends up being a problem to a degree, because yes, young people can play it and they will have a lot of fun, but the truth is a lot of non-young people play your game, so try to make something out of that. I don't know. Pokemon Reborn is the good case of an adult Pokemon game. I actually haven't even heard of that one. I have heard of like Pokemon Uranium and like what was it? The Fire Red ROM they made. I don't know how exactly how is it called exactly, but yeah, it has a couple of characters shoehorned into it to reflect on the creator's values, but overall really good. Radical Red. There you go. That's the one. I actually studied the Radical Red, and I tried to make a. Oops. Brom is much less healthier than I thought, but we should be fine either way. Let's just try not to make any mistake there. Okay, never mind. Soren, take care of that, please. But yeah, I played a bit of Radical Red because I just heard everyone tell me that it's a really good Pokemon game, and I honestly really had fun. I just never got around to finishing it. I might have to finish it at some point. Radical Red is really good, but the godfather of Pokemon room hacks had to be Traiano. I don't know who Rayano is, honestly. Like, I haven't played that many. Okay, okay, it's a person who makes hacks. I just don't know which game they made. Aurora Crystal. I think. Okay, see, they make like ROM hacks of already existing Pokemon games, I assume, right? And they just make them good, I guess. Okay, can you kill him with a Steel Axe? Yes, definitely can. Okay, that is really good, really, honestly. Okay, and with this, can Neffany escape? Decently good. Kieran will always appreciate a bit of skill, so that's good. Neffany, can you escape? Neffany can escape, so let's just do it this way. Titania, get in the house. Visit the house. What's that? These are taking advantage of the commotion and to sack our little town. Blaze Black, Renegade Platinum, and Storm Silver, to name a few. Right. I should probably check into that. I'll just save the profile of this guy. I got it on Twitter over here, and I'll just investigate a bit when I have some time and see if I actually find a Roman interesting. Do you recommend any of them? Nowadays, his has feel outdated, but keep in mind that the guy did ROM hacking 10 years ago when resources for players were not existent. Oh, really? So she's okay. I didn't actually know. Right, I assume so, like Renegade Platinum is my far by far. I might give it a try. I might actually give it a try. I'll just save it at some point, and we'll see if I played it actually. Maybe I played on stream, honestly. I mean, why not at this point? We must close the front gate. Thanks for your help. No problem, man. Oh, I almost forgot. Please take this as a token of thanks. Go on, take it. But yeah, I was pretty much a bit before a bit after I finished the Scarlet and Violet. I just wanted to play a more classical in a way, like non-open world. Okay, let's just see this dialogue, because first time we can actually get to recruit Seahawk. Ah! Flee, you Crimean, I cannot fight you. Hold on, please. I am not an enemy to Lagus. Lagus? How do you... I joined this vigilante group because I knew it would afford me a chance to help you flee. Listen, I'll distract the townspeople while they're worried about me. You can make good your escape. I cannot trust the word of a human. I see. Well, if I cut down these vigilantes, would you believe me? Huh? 1, 2, all of them? How many do you want? Just give the word and I'll start cutting. Quiet. Why? Why would you? I want to help you, that's all. I see you're not an enemy. That much I'll believe. Thank you. Now you must hurry away from this place. No, I cannot flee. I have friends with whom I must board a ship. Will you not desist? It's much too dangerous. The vigilantes and Danes want nothing more than to kill Lagus. I'm not leaving. I see. If that's your stand, then I've got no choice. I will join your group. Don't be ridiculous. What's your name? I am Leaf, but that's a good name. That's beside the point. I am Seahawk. Well met, Leaf. Whoops, I don't think we have time for more formal introductions. Let's hurry. Hold it, I have not agreed to this. Too late, Leaf. He's with us now. Let me just read for a second. Old school Fire Emblem recruitments are goated. Yeah, they really are. Roger obviously being the best one. Roger was the one with Sida, right? That was from Fire Emblem 1 and then the remake, right? The guy that was just lazily like, oh, I really like you, Sida. And she's like, okay, cool. Come to us then. Yep, I do remember that one. Yeah, yeah. Fire Emblem at its best, I would say, honestly. Okay, and okay. I'm just gonna make sure that we do not kill any of the vigilantes, and then just finish the chapter. Neffany, do the honors, please. Bye-bye, everyone. Stefan is great too. I actually don't know which one of the two, because I think I never got around to recruiting him in Radiant Dawn, and this is my first playthrough of Path of Radiance, actually. Well, I played up to chapter 9 before, and we're in chapter 11, so this is the first time I'm playing this. So I actually don't know how the recruit with Stefan is, but we'll probably figure it out at some point. I just know we have to do something in a desert. That's all I know. Now let's see what the Black Knight has to say. The mercenaries boarded the ship safely. Now, how to proceed? Hi, Ranulph. You're not impeding that ship. I won't allow it. Oh shit, I have actually played Radiant Dawn, like fully. So I have context for things that happen after this, but I didn't actually know that these two talked before that. No, the point is that you really have to go on a certain empty space on a certain map to find the guy sleeping there to recruit him. He's I did know. I mean, I did know that you had to be in a specifically one square in a desert. I just didn't know that the context was just, oh, he's sleeping here. Let's just bring him to us. And I don't actually. How did you recruit that guy without like reading a guide or whatever? One of Gallia's peace warriors. I've met once before. Yes, at the castle near the Sea of Trees. From where I'm standing, we've actually met twice. Oh? I saw you that night, standing in the light of a full moon, the night you murdered Sir Grail. Well, you could have helped, Ranulf. So you were the one traveling with the King Beast, huh? Interesting. By measuring his aid strength, I will naturally learn more of the King's true power. Hate to tell you this, but my king is not measured against the likes of me. He's far beyond that. All the better. Now then, let us begin. I didn't actually know these two met in this game earlier. Oh, this just makes everything better later on. Oh, look at them, they fight him. They dodged. Oh, Ranulf, you got fucked. Oh, he resisted one hit and missed two. Ugh, why? Why do my attacks do nothing? You fight impressively. However, you are no match to me. Is he healing him? Huh? Oh, he isn't. Okay, good to know. Oh shit! Okay, rise. Leave this to me. You were one of the prisoners. This knight will not raise his hand to me, correct? Go now, quickly. If you insist, I'll give proper thanks when next time we meet. Thank you, Sephiran. Much appreciated. You're welcome for saving you from the jail, I guess. Commander Hart. Oh no, I didn't read it. They are friends of the subhumans. We cannot allow them to escape. Hart, my beloved. Look at him. Ah. That was a good nap, you say it, man. Well, looks like the fight is over. Form up, it's time to withdraw. Commander, listen to me, Jill. We're scheduled to return home tomorrow. If you were injured in a place like this, your Lord Father would not be pleased. It's because of my father that I must not return home empty-handed. I must have something to show him. Please, simmer down, girl. The Black Knight has ordered us to withdraw. Would you ignore his word? That would be suicide, correct. So let's move out. Blast. My lord Black Knight, a ship's departing. If we ready our own ship and set sail without delay, we can overtake it immediately. Listen to me, Dane General. You will withdraw from this place. I will not allow you to pursue that ship. Who are you supposed to be, fool? You've no idea who you're speaking to, do you? Gather your men. Withdraw. Yet we... I will not repeat myself. Do it now. Yes, at once. Who might that be? We'll never know. Are you sure that's true? Yes, you can ask these two for more details. The two of us, we're here representing the townsfolk. You say that a green-haired lass boarded that ship. Yes, she had a very noble bearing about her, and she was beautiful. Her name was Ellen... They called her something like that. It's true. Princess Olyncia. Haha, my luck has changed. All of us, all the townsfolk, are ready to cooperate in any way we can. You fuckers! If you would mind, you would keep that in mind. Believe me, I understand your loyalty. Well then, you there, come here. Yes, sir, right there, right here. Get these two worms out of here. Find the hardest physical labor in this town and get this fool started. Jesus Christ. Work him from dusk till dawn without stopping. Work him until they can no longer move. You got that? Yes, sir. Understood, sir. But that's... Why would you? Stop your whining, or else am I to reward worms vile enough to sell their own princess to the enemy? You say it, man. Snitches get stitches. Do Hell yeah! I mean, they deserve it. Poor Alicia. Enjoy your payment, you greedy bastard. or our own princess. That's not. It can't be. It can't. No, no, no. They say. Okay, so they actually didn't know it was Alicia. They're just shitty. But at least they didn't know that it was someone they actually have to respect, I guess. Still shitty, to be fair. My lord Tyke, how wonderful. I didn't think you were going to make it. I am sorry to have worried you. Oh no, I'm just happy to see you well. So very happy. Thank you, Alicia. But we were gonna go through that. We only had to restart 3 times, but we're fine. Whew. I thought the enemy would pursue me this far. A warrior such as you, wounded. Did a bear give you that bruise? Master Grifka! Ow! The king told me to come and check on you. Don't move. You are plenty banged up, but nothing appears to be broken. There's one among the Dane army whose powers are overwhelming. To move with such speed with all that armor, I tell you it's not right. And now the king's forced to use you, his shadow warrior, to check up on me. Our ministers are as obstinate as ever. No matter what happens, they will not approve of an alliance with the Berg. Nothing to be done about that. Every one of the older returners has memories of the Laguz subordination. Even the king. If Princess Elincia were not King Raymond's orphan, I doubt he would be willing to aid her. Perhaps you are right. At any rate, the princess and the others are now safely at sea. And the watchdog? No signs of carelessness, I presume? Of course not. Even the elders will bend their ears to hear what that one says. That one is special, after all. And how do you see this? Princess Elincia's drive for the reconstruction of Crimea. Does she have a chance? Who can say? Which way the wheel turns depends on Ike and his mercenaries. Success and failure are but a hair removed. So this company, which has done nothing but flee, controls the fate of the kingdom. That's a dangerous gamble, isn't it? All gambles are dangerous, Master Gifka, but no mistake about it. Dane's the next target is Gallia. We must go home and prepare. Fair play, Ranulf. Fair play. Oh shit! Ashnar drop. First time we actually hear him talk, or like see him talk. I don't actually know what voice to put him. I guess Grave or whatever. Princess Crimea. Did she board the ship to Benion with the reminder of Gawain's mercenaries? Yes. The hindrance that was Gawain is dead. The location of the medallion will soon be known. Has our worm worked itself into the group? It appears that our worm has been accepted as trusted as a member of the company. Who's the worm? I don't actually know any of this, honestly. Like, I haven't played I have played Radio Undone, but I don't know who the worm could actually be, honestly. All is going as planned. Now we let them swim as they please. There is one thing. I met someone unexpected at the harbor that you don't remember. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, honestly, like, no idea who this is. Who? The Prime Minister of the Benion Empire. What? Is that true? If he's nosing about, we must not make any mistakes. Did he give any indication he had caught on to our plans? That I don't know. He did tell me to deliver a message to you. Overreaching ambition invites disaster. Just googled it. I remember now. I have a theory, but just don't tell me. I just want to see if it's actually true or if because I have a way in which I could actually see it being that way, but I don't completely know what this is. Pah, nonsense. Our only concern is the Princess of Crimea and the medallion. We must wait and watch until such time as we can strike. In the interim, I don't actually know what that is. I just can assume it, I guess, but I was sure. I want you to take charge of the invasion of Gallia. Be smart. You must not allow Gallia to bring their full might to bear, understood? Get it? Bear? Even though there are no bear lagoons, but they know what they did. Okay, as you will. Alright. We're gonna be finishing right around now. I'm gonna be probably doing up until we get to the base because I gotta go now to um, donate some blood. That's good. You should do that. Donate blood and shit. Be nice to people, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna read exactly what happens after this thing. We're gonna get to the base, maybe read a few super conversations, and after that we're gonna probably cross the stream. But for now, let's just see what happens in the next chapter, which is called... We'll know when it happens, I guess. Okay, okay, whoa, okay. Political drama. Having narrowly escaped... Actually, I don't know what voice to give the narrator. I guess it's just my voice, okay, sure. Having narrowly escaped Dane's grasp, the Grail mercenaries are pleased to feel the ocean beneath their feet as they set sail. According to Captain Nasir, the voyage to Benion will take roughly 2 months. 2 months?! I mean, that makes sense. But 2 months?! Alright, sure. I didn't know the timescale would be so large in this. Okay, sure. Blessed with temperate weather, the ship's journey southward is smooth and steady. Nice, no problems. As it passes the midpoint of this trip, the ship sets a course along the coastline and begins to head east. Oops, it's lagging a bit. This time around it is true. Okay. We'll give it a second before reading. Okay, is it back? Is it back? Let me see if it's back. It seems to be back. We should be fine. Okay. This... Or are we? Let me just see if I keep dancing or if I stop dancing at some point. Okay, it seems to be fine. Okay. I'm sorry. The YouTube recording must be showing some weird shit, but it's... I just don't know if the streaming is getting it correctly. Anyways. This is belong to Phoenix and Kilba, the kingdoms of the bear tribes. Hell yeah. Ooh, eagle and crow. Both nations prey on human vessels for supplies and wealth. Oh, I actually didn't know that. In Radiant Dawn they actually don't tell you this. Okay, that's cool to know. Okay, and their flying corsairs are feared across the seas. Right, this explains why there are Naesala and Tibarn pirates in like Fire Emblem Heroes and whatever. That is actually canon, I didn't know that. Additionally, the southern portion of the continent contains the realm of the Dragon Tribe, the monarchy of Goldoa. Finally, they tell you that's a thing, because that's pretty important, but yeah, Goldoa is there. Oh shit! This country has remained isolated since its founding centuries past, preserving its close culture behind a veil of mystery. It is these Laguth-controlled waters that Ike and company must now cross. Chan Chan. And chapter is A Strange Land. Alright. I don't actually know where this is headed, honestly. Ike? What's bothering you? You've been mopping around ever since we came aboard. I'm just a little seasick. Seasick? You're such a bad liar. You never even get regular sick. You're not the type to get seasick. Really, it's nothing. Come on, talk to me. You've been doing so much lately. I just want the chance to help you for a change. Well, alright. I'll tell you what's been bothering me. It's that incident back in Toa. Go on. When everyone discovered Ranulf was a Lagoose, all those people, they changed. Just like that. Up until that instant, they seemed like such kind and decent people. I had no idea Berg's prejudice against the Lagoose was so strong. Why did they hate them so much? How are we so different, Ranulf and I? I have to say, at first I was scared too. When I saw how they could change. They can do things that we PoR can't do. They're not like us. Mist, you can't honestly feel... Mist is a little bit racist. But she's still young, she can still change. You can do it, Mist. It's different now, everyone's so very nice. But you know, that's because of all the time we spent together. I've seen how they are, I've gotten to know them, that's why I've changed. Yay. I'm not scared or nervous around them, but other people don't get that chance. I think that's why they're frightened. Maybe you are right. Maybe people like me are the odd ones. The people who accept others as they are. I wish more people were like that. I mean, no one really wants to fight, do they? Doesn't everyone want peace? I guess it's just hard to put all of those fears behind us. You're right, it is very hard. Nasir, what's the big idea eavesdropping on us like that? How do you find sailing? Have you gotten sick at all? Well, fine, but answer a question for me, would you? Why are you here? Why do you associate with Lewis? Why? Besides the obvious financial benefits, I suppose I do so because I am one. I didn't know that was announced that early, actually. What? No, you're not a Lagus? I don't see any tail or anything. Because I've chosen to live among Beork, I've taken certain steps to make sure I'm not recognized. I've had to change my attire, my feeding habits, I've done many things. Why would you do that? Lagus cannot survive in isolation, nor can Beork. If both races are to thrive, they must learn to coexist. I have spent many years searching for a way to make this happen. You think that Lagus and Beork can live together after everything you must have seen? I'm impressed. Ike, you will never truly understand the matter unless you look at it from each party's perspective. As you say, the Lagus are indeed now persecuted by the Beork, but long ago these roles were reversed. Oh no, is he justifying racism? Is this the... Oh no. Hmm. Whatever happened in the past does not justify what we do to the Lagus now. There you say it! That is the thinking of an honest man. Keep things simple and pure, I like that. Still, the strength of your conviction comes from your youth and your innocence. Trust me, it will be tested. When your journey is over, how will you be changed? I pray your conviction is not lost to despair. Talking to you is hard work. Someday you will understand. For now my role is simply to deliver you safely to Benion. Ranulf has paid me quite handsomely with money from the King of Gallia himself, and I will not let him down. We are out of our element at sea, so you are all we have to depend on. Thanks for your help. I will do what I'm able. Alright. Ike, he is a summary of our last battle. Thank you, Soren. So helpful of you. Oops, I didn't actually read it. Okay, we'll be fine. There were no casualties and no one suffered permanent injury. We fought excellently. Thank you, Soren. I did. That's all I have to report, if you'll excuse me. Bye-bye. Okay, let's read on some supports, I guess. Titanium Void, and what info do we have? Oh, we have a 3-star one. Okay, we're gonna read all of that, and then we're gonna leave, I think. Titanium Void. Let's speak. Let's see what you have to say to each other, please. 98, 99, 100. Done. Blah. What's the point in swinging an axe by myself? I should probably try to find Ike. Maybe a quick nap first. Void? Oh, it's actually so cool because they put a boat background during the support conversation, and I assume that changes depending on where we are. I didn't actually know that was something that they would do, honestly. Where do you think you're going? Are you blowing off your training again? No, I'm not slacking, I swear. I was just going to work out with Ike. You know me, I'm all about the fighting. Boyd, I know that training is tough, but if you make light of it, you're closer to death than you ever want to be. You're a mercenary. When you're confused or exhausted during a long battle, instincts make all the difference. But Titania, I just can't get into training when I don't have a partner. Can't get into it, Boyd. Don't make me chew you out again. Joking, I'm just joking. What I just said, all a joke. Oh, I'm just dying to do some practice swings. Yeah. Boy, training is so much fun. Isn't that right, Titania? Woo, I love training. Turn it, Boyd. Why are you so lazy? You're a natural fighter, you know that? You could be even better fighter than me if you just put your mind to it. Anyway, just keep practicing. Titania is so nice. Let's just read the 1-star ones and we'll leave the 3-star one for the end. Oh. You don't look so well, are you alright? I'm seasick. When I was traveling with the merchants, we sometimes used ships. Every time was the same. I'm sorry. Did you travel with Muston and the others for a long time? About 4 years, all told. I had just left home, you see. I was all alone. I couldn't find work. In my hometown, I had so many people I could depend on. But once I left, everything changed. If Maston's group hadn't found me by the side of the road, I'd probably be dead by now. Hmm, you seem to have led quite an adventurous life. It's a bit surprising. I get that a lot. I find it hard to imagine that you couldn't find work though. Your magic skills are amazing. Aren't they though? I'm always happy when people notice. Ew, whew. I feel so much better now. I'm actually starting to get hungry. I'm glad to hear it. Just stay above deck. And when you start to feel sick, look off at the horizon, alright? Thank you, Ike. So helpful. Also, I just realized, are all the base conversations with Ike? Like, there are no conversations between other characters, because I think Ready and Dawn there were, right? But here maybe it doesn't seem to be the case. Do you have a minute? Of course, Commander Ike. You and I haven't had very many opportunities to talk, and you don't think you can trust me? No, it's not that. I'm just curious. I was surprised to see anyone in Toha who chose to fight on the side of the Lagoon. I joined the Toha Vigilantes solely for the purpose of serving Lagus. Thank you, Seahawk. I'm not with Crimea, but when I heard she had joined with Gallia, I envisioned my perfect world. One in which the Lagus could live normal lives, free of oppression. However, when I came to Crimea, I found things were no different there than in any other Berg nation. It was the same for me. I couldn't allow myself to ignore these problems any longer. I'm happy to hear it. Of all the Berg I've met, you are the only one who shares my convictions. See, Hark, is there some other reason you defend the Lagus? I don't follow you. You see, I was born in Gallia, or so I've been told. I just wondered if you had a similar reason guiding you. Of course I have my reasons. Would you be obsessed if I didn't want to discuss them? My reasons are extremely personal. No, it's no problem. I wanted a better understanding of what kind of man you are, and I have that now. Can I ask what that is? You're a good man. I'm glad to have you along. I'm glad to be here. I feel I'm finally able to do the kind of good I've longed to do for years. That's nice, Seahawk. He's such a nice guy. Bulk? Right there. Right here. Ah, where have you been? You disappeared the moment we got into the ship. Don't worry about it. I'll be there when you need me. It's not me, it's my sister. You've never once shown up for a meal and she thinks you're dying of hunger. That's adorable, Mist. You can't be like this. No, that's adorable. Did we ever eat together while we were on land? Alright, listen. Land? Big. Ship? Small. It's not the same thing. I don't want Miss roaming the ship with a plate of food anymore, so please eat one meal a day with us. Ah, this is so cute. Okay, sure. 100 gold. Fuck you, man. You're going to charge me to make you eat? And that's more than you charge to pick a lock? Why? I don't like large groups. I mean, I get you, Bulk. Same, man. Bye. Call me if you decide it's worth it. Maybe I should just tell Miss instead. Yeah, fair point. Let's just see what Boy has to tell us. Oh, not Boyd. Boy. A boy. What does random boy has to tell us? Ah, Ike, grab that boy. What's going on? Oh shit! I know who Boy is. Hello, Soth. No more running for you. Now see, who is this? I saw away. I gather he boarded the ship at Toha. What are you doing here? Why did you sneak aboard the ship? You won't talk? In that case... Ow, ow, ouch, ow, ow! There's no need to be so rough. I'm not going to waste my time playing games with this urchin. Do you want me to let you go? Open your mouth and start talking. Ow, 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 quit it, I'll talk. That hurt. I thought you were gonna break my face. Well, what's your name? What are you doing here? I'm Soth. I'm a thief, but I didn't come on board the ship to steal anything. Hmm. Stop scowling at me like that. You're making me uncomfortable. It's not just you. Ike always looks like that. Don't mind him. Just keep talking. I'm looking for someone. I heard the ship was sailing for Benion, so I decided to climb aboard. This person you are after is in Benion. I don't know. The trial went cold in Doha, and I couldn't think of anywhere else to go from there. Is it family? Huh? The person you're looking for. Yeah, I mean, we're not related by blood or anything, but we're definitely family. I know who that is. Okay, alright, so good. Yes, we're gonna aid South. Alright. Now see, my mercenary company will look after this boy. He won't be a burden to you or your crew. If that's what you want me to do, it's fine with me. Are you sure? You're going to be put to work. I hope you're prepared. Sure, no problem. I'll do whatever you need. Okay, here's the thing. Soth is a character which I have a great appreciation for, but apparently he's completely and utterly useless in this game, which makes me super sad because I honestly would love to play with Soth. But I probably cannot afford to do it because it's just a really hard character to just train. Like this 5 strength, 11 speed, 4 defense, 5, 11, 4. Let's see bulk. 12, 13, 7. It's not even a discussion. Like if I want to play with a thief, I gotta use bulk. I cannot use Soth. And it's so sad because I completely and absolutely adore Soth. But oh well, it is what it is. That said, I think we're gonna create a custom weapon for I still don't know who. Let me just check how good Seahawk is. Seahawk is basically the same level as Mia. Okay, he's a bit stronger, a bit less speedy, and okay, same thing defensively and same skill. So basically, it's a choice. I mean, I guess Mia is much better than Seahawk right now. Honestly, I think I prefer playing Mia to Seahawk. I guess. Right? I will have to think about it to be honest, but probably Mia. Now let's think. Which weapon do I want now? I already have a custom bow, which I'm not gonna use for a while until we get another bow, because I don't want to use Oscar. Not Oscar, sorry, Rolf, I meant. Let's see. A nice lance. We already have Gaibolg over there, so maybe it's a nice axe at this point? Maybe a nice axe for Boy Boyd? Maybe. Let's gonna build him an axe. Let's forge him a nice axe. Yes. An axe. Or maybe a tome. Ooh, I can make light tomes. I mean, I can't. I don't have an use for it. I think, right? Because I only Risk can use it. Pretty sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah, all good. But yeah, we're gonna build the axe. We're gonna send the pole axe over here, and we're gonna build you an axe, Boyd. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. You can use steel axe, right? And what is your build? 10. And how heavy is a steel axe? 15. Iron axe is just perfect weight for you, so we're gonna have to do one iron axe. Right, because forging going for 10 here is gonna be quite hard, right? Quite expensive, that is. Well, not that expensive, that's 2000. Well, I mean, to be fair, 65 hit is what it starts with. Yeah, it's much more cheap to just go for the iron axe and then just upgrade it. Okay. How good do we want the axe to be? Okay, this at the very least. And let's just give it a lot of hit. Yes, 100 hit. That's much better. Do we want to give some crit? No, crit is just useless. It would cost me 1900. Yeah, that's much. Yeah, I can afford that. Yes. And now I'm just gonna see if I remember how Claire was written. Let's see. It was hey. I'm doing it from memory, but I might be wrong. Is it something like that? Let me just check. The U must be might be wrong actually. Actually, let's see. How to declare. Fire Emblem Axe. Like that? How declare? Jesus Christ, this is hard to write. Okay, sure. It's basically here it's yes, it's AU. Jesus fucking Christ, this is a hard weapon. Okay, we're gonna have to overwrite everything. It's fine. How TE cleared. Okay, sure. This is hard to write, but we weren't that far off, to be honest. Yeah, that's fine. We weren't that far off. And let's just end it there. Okay, and we're gonna make it... Why is every single weapon in Fire Emblem fucking yellow? Yeah, because it's yellow too, right? In... Like for the Helteclair, or I don't know how it's actually pronounced. I'm just gonna call it whatever I managed to call it when I try to say it, I guess. Fire Emblem. Like this is the one from Hector, right? It is yellow, so sure, yellow it is, I guess. Fuck it. Another yellow weapon. Okay, and we're gonna give it to Void. Yep. And that's 30 might. It's gonna be much better than a Steelax, so I guess we're gonna use it instead of a Steelax for a while. And we're gonna have an Iron Axe in case we need it. But yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, with that done, I guess we continue. Well, do we have to buy anything? Are we fine on vulneraries? I don't think we used a single one the whole chapter previously. We're gonna give one to. Actually, we probably have one on the convoy ready for Leaf, don't we? We do not. Okay, so we're gonna buy one vulnerary for you. Yes. And after that, we are probably fine on every other front, right? You probably want an Iron Lance, actually. You can get the one from Oscar, right? Yep. Oscar's not gonna be using it. And with that, we should be fine. We're gonna save. We're gonna go into the next chapter. We're just gonna read real quick what the story is gonna go now, and let's see how that goes. After that, we're gonna leave. Nasir, what is this? What is it? Nothing. Nothing we can do about it at any rate. We are being followed by pirates. Really? I don't see any ships. Not by sea, by air. Look up. Are those birds? Are they? If they are, they must be huge. Those are Lagusike. Ravens from Kilba. The black wings are an ill omen for all who see them. Titania, Soren, you noticed them coming as well? Yes, Soren and I saw them when we were discussing our plans from the afters. I've heard stories, but they are really flying, whoa. We're still out of the range, but airborne foes can be especially troublesome. I'd prefer to avoid them altogether. Let's see if we can outrun them. From what I've been told, the flying corsairs of Gilbas and Phoenixes are far more cruel than any beast Lagus. Winged pirates? How am I supposed to fight against that? What was that? Oof, it felt like we hit something. Blast, we've been run aground. We must be caught on a rift or something. Move it, lads. Get the ship free. Ike, the crows are coming. Pull everyone together. Looks like we're in for a fight. Oh no. Well, that was not a reef, man. You fucking hit on a fucking island, like, all completely. Alright. Predictable humans sailed right into a trap without fail. Let's finish this quickly. It won't be long before Phoenixes of Golgoldoa take an interest in what's happening here. Big Crow. Soren, do you have a plan? I've done research in the past. All members of the bird tribe are vulnerable to wind magic. Good, we're gonna buy you a new wind tome, even though you have a Elwind, I guess. I think it's safe to assume that they are also susceptible to arrows as any other flyer. Okay, maybe we have to use Rolf. Good to know. Wind, magic, and bows. Alright, everyone gather your weapons and prepare to meet the enemy on the deck. I want a small group to remain below deck to protect Princess Alicia and the crew. We have never faced an enemy like this. I want everyone to stay together. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, we definitely have to use Rolf this time around. How many enemies are there? Not that many, but I assume there will be reinforcements, because this is like 5 enemies, right? Biomap. No, I want to do the conditions. Yeah, we are not gonna have to fight only 6 people. This is definitely gonna have reinforcements at some point. Though, how strong are they? Not that strong, to be honest. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get reinforcements in. Okay. We're gonna give Rolf some experience here. We're gonna go back. Yes, to the base real quick, because we are gonna train. We're gonna give some base experience to Boyd before we end the stream. Yes. Yes, save real quick. Let's just try one level for Boyd, and let's see if it's a good level. And if it isn't a good level, we're just okay. Yeah, he's definitely gonna die. Let's see. Again, I said we were not gonna try to XP scam too much, but this is just a free try on a good level up, and if it's good, we keep it, and if it's not, we close the stream without keeping it. That's a good level up. I'm keeping that one. That's for sure. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna save that, and because I was considering promoting Boyd for the bows for the next chapter, but I think we're not gonna do that. We could actually do the same thing with Brom here, who's almost about to level up. Let's see how the level up is, and if it's bad again, we just call it a day. That's a bad level up. Yeah, I need that strength level up. So that's gonna be it for that. How good are you into? Okay, let's just. We shouldn't do it this way, but let's just try to give this level up to Ike, and if it's strength, I guess we can be fine without the good Brom level up. Okay, never mind. We're keeping this level up. Brom, you should be fine with yours too. Good thing. We save here. And that's gonna be it for the stream today. Had a lot of fun, really. Thanks everyone for coming around. I really had a great time here. And yeah, we'll continue maybe tomorrow, actually. Maybe tomorrow, and if not tomorrow... Yeah, probably tomorrow if we continue. Yeah, and after that maybe Monday, I think. But yeah, gotta be living. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope the stream didn't lag too much. And yeah, reminder to please follow if possible, and if not, all good. And I also have a YouTube channel down in the description. You can probably see in the description of the stream to see the bots after they are done. But yeah, that's that. Yep. See you guys. Thanks for everyone for coming. Bye bye.